Just a quick heads up that this episode has mentions of suicide and suicide attempts. That's a trigger warning. I would put some helpful resources in the description box down below. I also have a Google Doc that I'll also link that has a lot of resources are available worldwide and also in Canada. Hello everyone, I am Daisy and welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we discuss everything related to mental health and wellness and try to make sense of this crazy, stressful world. Today I have a special guest, my girl Osa with me.
Hi.
Ooh, applause,
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here for me.
Just to have a little conversation.
Of course.
A little chin wag.
But before I start today's episode, I'm tripping my words. Yeah.
Take a breath. You're not gonna die because you didn't get it right.
I know. Thanks for reminding me.
The funny part is I was encouraging you, but it sounded so condescending. You're not gonna die if you didn't get it right. That's like literally how I was raised. So that's the only way I know how to nurture.
I didn't take it as like, girl. So I hope you guys checked out the last episode. If you haven't, I'll leave it down in the description box. I talked about wanting to normalize mental health checks. So right now, I want you guys to take this opportunity to check in on yourselves, how you're doing mentally, how you're doing emotionally, how are you generally feeling today. But since I have a guest today, we're just going to do a mental health check-in right now. And also, how are you feeling today?
I am good. Like, overall, I feel pretty mentally healthy today. But yesterday was a different story. I'm not married to yesterday's emotions. I feel pretty good today. So yeah, I think overall, mentally, we're good. What about you? How are you feeling?
Like, I am good. I'm trying to, cope with
post-bachelor
life, post-secondary degree, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my degree right now.
Literally the problem we all are struggling with, not being able to get a job. I feel like that, that's something that people do not talk about often, actually. Like, almost the next day after your graduation, because people are asking you what's next. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, it's the day you graduate is not even the day that you're done school. Normally you're done school in April. So between April and June, normally there's a lot that have the job very, very true
right after they step out of school.
Yeah,
the engineering degrees and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I would have loved to have done a business administration degree.
I'm sitting here, I want to do a data analyst program.
I want to do computer science. Anything. That's
true.
Anything to make me
always have jobs.
I should have did everything else but science.
Notes for my future kids, like literally.
Don't do science. Yeah. So how's like that whole job search stuff going, and how do you feel? Like, do you not feel like all the stuff that school provided us with helped you?
No, I don't think school prepared me for like this after period at all. I'm glad that you brought up like job searching and transitioning after your degree, because my mental health now is not as good as I want it to be, and also I think that that's due to how my mental health was taken care of back in university.
Really?
Yeah.
Like why? Like, why do you feel like that? Like, what is today's conversation? Because guys, I don't know what it is about. I
think because I've been thinking about that, let's talk about institutional neglect. The institutions that are supposed to prepare us for the next stage of our lives, what are they doing for us mentally to prepare us for the next stages? Or what are they doing for us whilst you're taking from us whilst we're in the institutions? So for example,
specifically universities.
Of course, like right now, because I don't have a job. So I can't talk about work.
I felt that on the level.
Boy. And like, I mean, people who are looking at my LinkedIn, the jobs you see are volunteer jobs.
Ugh!
Volunteer.
Miss me with that.
Volunteer job.
Like, imagine you paying $40,000 a year, so 4 times 5.
Oh my god, that's
40,000.
200,000 Canadian.
200,000 CAD. You spent
Don't get me
for
started.
you to now be doing volunteer positions.
My parents are not rich though. Like,
let's kill yourself.
My parents are not rich. Let's just get I'm telling you, and I'm so grateful for them. Like, I have to shout them out by force, by fire. Like, and mommy and daddy, like, I'm not going to, y'all, it's not going to be in vain. I'm telling you, I'll get this job. Because name. I was talking to my dad, and I'm so glad they are not like disappointed that I don't have a job right now, because they understand that it's also, especially with the pandemic, and they also understand the stress of job searching.
Yeah.
period. But then, like, I was like, I can't wait till I get my first paycheck. You know, the African thing when you give your first paycheck to your parents? Or like, not even 10%. Like, thing? I want to do it. Are you serious?
I'm assuming my Africanness for that one.
Oh, God. You're doing what?
I'll disown my Africanness for that rule. You can have my Maggie Cube.
Oh, God. Because I want to do that so bad. Like, I'm getting cute $6,000 a month. Let me reach.
Which job?
They said if you reach for the stars, you land on the moon.
Or something like that.
Reach for
the stars.
And land on the
moon. If you miss, at least you'll land on the moon.
Exactly.
Like
so if I don't get $6,000.
No, it's shoot for the moon. You'll land among the stars.
Oh my God, shoot for the stars and you land. No, the stars are further away from the moon, also.
Are you sure?
Planets are stars.
Honestly, this is not... let's move on. Let's move.
Anyway, so we're talking about institutional neglect and yeah. So I think that like the university that we went to, because I don't want to mention any names, I think that the university could have done a better job when catering for like mental health illnesses and issues of students on campus.
So like you're not only talking about them not preparing you for post grad life. Exactly. You're saying that they also didn't help you while you were in university.
Exactly.
I don't understand what a huge institution could do for all, let's say, 10,000 students that go there in 1 year. I feel like we have two different experiences. Like, I feel like they did what they could have done. Like, you can't treat everybody's mental illness. Like, that's 10,000 people, 10,000 different. My depression is not the same as your depression. Mm-hmm. How do we treat that times 10,000? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's a huge undertaking. And I feel like it's a lot to ask an institution to give you not only a degree, but also all of the mental health resources.
Mental health care?
Not mental health. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you're there for the degree. Mm-hmm. We all as a society bought into the fact that we should be paying for us regular students.
And then we should get the help elsewhere. There are international students that actually depend on UHIP for health insurance. Do you get what I mean? There are people who actually are sitting there and have no family. If he really felt like, okay, like then tell us point blank period that you come here for school, it's all books that we're going to give to you.
But obviously they can't do that.
Exactly.
Universities sell a total dream. They sell this whole campus life. They sell... when you see the brochures, when you see the videos, they obviously
exactly, but they're not telling about people that actually lost their lives and people who didn't even get to graduate with your graduating class right now. They don't mention that. They don't.
It's just like how does the world help your mental health? It's so individual. Like, so I don't know. I feel like it's almost kind of hopeless. That's why I'm like, do I even want to discuss this? Because I feel like it's very hopeless.
No, it's not.
What?
Like, where do you see global mental health in like 10 years?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, because it's like, unless there's some machine that can measure that my mental health is not well today, how do you prove that I'm really not doing well? Because let's be honest, like, there's some times where I've been desperate in school and needed to get out an exam because I didn't study and, like, you know, use my mental health as an excuse and got a no. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. And, like, what does one do?
I think the institution hasn't done enough for them to say, what can we do now, though? Do you get what I mean?
What is enough? That's
for example, like, there's literally little things. Like, I remember when we were studying for these big bio D, something like the 4th year courses. And to introduce the class, they talk about how this is the toughest course ever. People start dropping out, like, before the, what's it called? Credit no credit time. And I'm like, so how about giving us resources so that we can better handle the stress? Because some people are here because it's your prereq. And the first thing you introduce this course with is discouragement, or with this thing that's supposed to induce anxiety.
Is that an anxiety inducer, or is it just the reality of the situation? Does that even correlate? Because at the same time, I'm telling you the course content is hard. What is affecting your mental health is the fact that it's hard and you want to do well on the course, right? But health and wellness and then the course being hard, they don't meet. Like,
but your health and wellness can affect how well you do with the course.
So it's like study harder. I feel like you're here for school. We're here to help you for school. Institution cannot really be held accountable for your mental health. I actually believe that. They can't be held accountable for your mental health because everybody's going, whether you were going to be in school or not, you're going to have mental health issues. The school is just another thing, but that is life. Like, life has things, and if you're not in school, you're gonna have anxiety about not being in school, right? And where your life is gonna get you. But you are in school, and you have anxiety about passing your courses and where you're gonna go. That everything is. I feel like it's all inevitable. They're not responsible for your mental health, but should there be counselors that you can talk to, or letting you know the helpline, stuff like that? Yeah, but they shouldn't be held accountable.
But they're responsible for not doing enough. Because I'm saying, like, it takes 2 seconds or 2 seconds to just include that. Fine, you have FSGs. There are people with social anxiety that literally can't physically get out of bed. I understand, like, tell us that here are the resources to make the course easier, but also let us know that there are resources available to look after our mental health to make it easier. In 10 years, I want global mental health be mandatory. Like, even when you come to work, like mental health check-ins annually or monthly of your employees, because not only does that improve like results, it just covers all bases that you're actually looking after your work employees. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I feel like it comes more of a philosophical question, like to what do we owe each other? And that's what that makes me think about, like, to what do we owe each other? Like the idea of being your brother's keeper and all that stuff, and how far does that go? Like, do we treat people like either the stranger, like they are strangers, or do we like focus on all the things that unite us and stuff? Like, why do we put on this heavy professional front, but then we now want to act humanly to each other, i.e. like respecting people's mental health? Like, how far can you go with that? Like, kind of feels like there's no space for both in one world, to be really honest. And that's why I'm like, I don't know where I see mental health 10 years from now, because I actually cannot picture what more can you do? Because to what do we owe each other? To what do we really owe each other?
You're saying that professionalism and humanity are two different things. I understand what you're saying, though. I completely get it. But then it just reminds me of that notion of stressfully working hard and looking like you're dying whilst you're working hard means like you're actually working. And that's not how life is supposed to be. We literally say this all the time. I can't come and kill myself.
And the thing is, facts. Period. Right. I can't come and kill myself.
But we're saying we have to be killing ourselves to be successful. All I'm saying is just put literally mental health resources like right next to the thing.
But they can argue that they do, though.
But they don't. That's the thing. That's the thing with like our school. Like, I don't even want to mention the name now, but like because
are they coming to you? Are they coming?
I don't know, but I'm trying to apply for a job there. Do you get what I mean? I have to be careful.
Okay, I get you.
Right. Yes, but I'm saying that they don't. So if this school did that and it wasn't working, then we can come back and you can come back and tell me that, like,
were you a recipient of any of the mental health resources that they had?
I had to go out of my way to, and I was lucky. I'm telling you, Osa, I was so lucky that my regular doctor, is the one who was like, hey, we should do mental health check-ins.
Oh.
Exactly. Exactly.
And, like, this isn't, like, an argument where I'm arguing one side, you're arguing the other. I'm treating this as more of a discourse because, like, truthfully, I don't know. Because I can actually say that I am a recipient of some of the mental health resources that, the school had to offer. Did I feel like they were the best? No, but I felt like there was a Band-Aid all the time. Like, I was saying what I was experiencing. Okay, well, let's give you some pills. I don't want to do pills. I'm never going to be down with pills. I would argue that the bare minimum was done. I looked for mental health resources. It was there. I didn't love it. I didn't utilize it really. And that was that. Going to university already causes some mental health issues. Alone, from a whole different country, is going to add more. And then culture. Is your culture individualist, or is it like
the culture shock of it all? Like,
even all that. So it's like not understanding. But that's the thing with university. It's like you hold your own hand. You know what I mean? And it's a place that you learn how to almost kind of nurture yourself in every single way. I don't know what more a university can do for me besides giving my degree or make it easier, like not being so hard for absolutely no reason. Like, I can see how that extra added pressure, on top of the fact that you're an international student, on top of the fact that you don't have any friends, on top of all these other things, it makes it harder, and it's definitely piling onto your mental health. I will admit that, like, me going to health and wellness on my own accord was like a last attempt to get out of an exam, and then I can say my mental health is not
exactly, and do the VOIs. Exactly. I didn't even know that until like my 3rd, 4th year. And like, I guess, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's too late, but I wish I had access to these resources earlier. I wish I'd gotten these resources or found.
But you blame the university for that and not yourself?
I blame myself partially, but then that's also deep rooted in stigma, all of that. If you're struggling with your mental illness, it's not like, okay, Daisy, now you're struggling.
You're right.
Let's go and get resources. You're right.
You
know, that's the school. When the school is tailoring mental health services, you're supposed to be taking that into account. That it takes people a long time to actually say, now's the time. 2-3 suicide attempts later, now's the time I actually want to go and get help. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people, unfortunately, the first attempt is all that it takes.
That's true.
You know, I give you $40,000 a year. Come on.
Yeah, you international students pay the fuck off.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, and that's what I believe. Like, we just came into school thinking that we actually have to suffer for this degree. Normalizing sleeping overnight, 2 hours of sleep in 48 hours, 72 hours.
It's definitely, like what you said right there, it's definitely normalized. Like, literally, you were just going to say it, and I was like, yeah. Like you were saying, and I was like, yeah. Literally not sleeping, staying at school overnight to write your exam at 9 a.m.
How healthy is that?
It's definitely not healthy.
Right.
But that's what I've known of university even before going into university. I almost feel like I want to shake you because I'm like, what do you expect? Like, this is how many thousands of people go to this school in 1 year. How do you make sure that every single person does not have a back-to-back exam? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like I'm not like arguing with you. I get what you're saying because it's fucked up.
But like you're addressing,
I had 3 exams in one day, 9 a.m., then another one at 12, and then the 5 p.m. exam. It was fucked up.
So, for example, if someone has back-to-back exams, right? If they were so stressed with school and they had access to resources to say, you know what, I can handle these exams back-to-back. You know, like they had the VOI form in place. Oh yeah, I can handle this because if I can't do this, I can go and get a VOI form. If I have a panic attack, I can go and do this. They have accessibility where you can have longer exam hours in place because
they do have.
Exactly, which they do have. So I'm saying that like we complain about this little thing for us to have all these bigger things in place. Credit no credit came in place. When the pandemic came, they now pushed credit no credit to the very end.
Oh, they did?
So yeah. So like I'm telling you, it's these little pushes that we've seen these bigger things, but I'm saying it's not enough because with the money that we're giving, also with the suicide rates going up, like it has to be faster.
I have an important question then. What do you think university is good for, as in a general sense? Because I read this thing on Twitter, and I'm sorry that Twitter is my holy grail. Wikipedia, Yahoo Answers. God. It is it now for me.
Same.
It said university, like, it isn't really about the degree. It's meant to shape you into the person you become, right? And I know you're gonna be like, normalize this, normalize that, but I actually do believe in that, like, struggle is usually what creates the person, you know? Like, I feel like the experiences you have, learning time management, learning how to, all of those things shaped me as in later, you know what I mean? As in, like, university does a lot of teaching to a person, and it's not like the content you learn, but like how you get through those 4 or 5 years. And I feel like it's good for that. You never come out of university the same person unless you only did the 1 year and you dipped out.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I get it, but let's remember that there are people who actually died before they could finish university.
You're right.
Do you get what I mean?
You're right.
So why don't you give me everything? Throw it in my face and let you say, no, I don't want these resources. I don't want to do this. I will suffer with my chest. Like, there's nothing. Is going to die if they give us the resources?
No, you're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
Do you get what I mean? That's the bare minimum. That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like I sound like such a bitch. And I feel like people are going to listen to this and think like, wow. But like,
no, but there are people who think exactly
somebody
like
has
you
to be
most definitely.
I read on Twitter.
Somebody has to be what?
Somebody has to be like the playing devil's advocate.
The
devil ask you to play his
and
advocate.
that's how we have a conversation.
Yeah,
like, you know, because there are people who think exactly like
this. And I'm sure the president stuff is probably thinking, what the f***
exactly.
they want us to
when
do?
I was younger, like when you talk to your parents,
we went to school. Yeah.
When I talked to my dad, he was talking about how when he was younger they had to walk and go and buy this book and then go. I'm just like, okay, and he's like, right now everything's on the internet, so you shouldn't be suffering. It should be easier. And I get it, but we're suffering, so now what? Do you get what I mean?
And no, I don't disagree that there's room for improvements. A million times, yes, there's room for improvements. But I do believe that there is it's a little bit part of the experience.
You can't come and die also. Why am I dying for a piece of paper and I'm sitting here 1 year later and I can't find a job? Do you get what I mean?
Right.
There are people who have lost their lives, also. People died for a degree.
And then it's funny though, because there's people who would literally kill to be in the same position that you're in right now.
And I'm saying do enough. And let's assess the suicide rates. Let's see what's happening with school. Let's see how people are doing academically. Yeah. I'm telling you, just needs to do that. That's the little thing that we could do.
I feel like the questions that were asked today have to be asked in, like, you know, in those boardrooms where they talk about these things. But there needs to be like a better solution, because you're right, like, there wasn't no credit before, and now there is. And that was the little push, you know? And no, but yeah, like, you're right. And hopefully there's more people like you in those boardrooms and less people like me.
We need people like you, because you also represent like the other mass.
Not even like, but just rational thinking, to be honest. I think that was a good little conversation there.
Yeah, that was a cute conversation. I like that. I don't even know what the topic. We touched on.
Kill yourself for the degree, or die for the degree. That's what you should name it.
Die for your degree.
Yeah. I think it should be just die for your degree. Period. Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow. All the stuff you have to do to keep posted. And don't forget to follow on Instagram at tmims.podcast. Check out Osa's YouTube channel, Osa Yasma. She's funny, she's cute. So check her out. And I will link her channel in the description box. Thank you so much for the support. And so I'll see you guys next episode. Until then, stay mentally healthy.